Nearly half a century ago, Oracle transformed how the world managed data. More than a decade ago, we reimagined how business works in the cloud. And now, as AI reshapes how we operate, compete, and innovate, Oracle is once again leading the way. That data, it's now your AI fuel. That cloud, it now trains and runs the world's most powerful AI models. And those models, they power the Gen AI built into your business processes and the AI agents that automate it all. Oracle brings AI to every corner of your business so you can imagine beyond the boundaries of what's possible. Whether it's leveraging AI to increase productivity, make decisions faster, and save money, using AI-powered forecasting to secure and maintain a power grid for millions of customers, training AI models to make the world's most powerful particle accelerator run faster and more efficiently, or harnessing AI vector search to tackle antibiotic resistance. We help you stay ahead because Oracle was built for the era of AI, so we can build the future of AI for you.
Please welcome to the stage Yvette Cameron.
Hello, everybody, and I'm so excited to be here with you today to share what's new and what's next in Oracle Cloud HCM suite. Super excited. We have a very fast-paced, interesting session for you today. I'm going to be joined on stage by 4 of my colleagues across strategy and development to talk to you about how our strategies and investments are helping our customers change the way work is managed, using AI, and really how we're preparing for the future of work. So very excited about this. But before we get into that, I want to start by sharing a couple of key statistics from across the suite. From the time that I stood here on the stage last year to today, it has been a phenomenal amount of innovation that we've been delivering across the suite. In the last 12 months, we've delivered over 1,500 innovations across the suite. That's over 300 advances in core HR and experience, over 150 across recruiting and in learning and other areas. Just a phenomenal amount of innovation. And a good amount of that was, of course, including AI. We delivered dozens and dozens of new capabilities so that today we have over 100 AI capabilities across the suite. And this is really innovation at scale. This is how we are helping organizations quickly embrace and deploy AI and really transform the way work is done. The impact of this has been phenomenal. We have seen a significant growth and adoption across the suite, the attachment rates of capabilities like recruiting and learning to our core HR capabilities. Today, we are managing over 66 million lives across the globe. We're paying over 24 million individuals across 60 countries with our native payroll solution. In fact, about 76% of all of our customers have embraced one or more of our native payroll solutions. So that's a phenomenal amount of impact across the globe. We have managed hundreds of millions of applicants in recruiting. We've helped organizations complete hundreds of millions of learning course completions, and an astounding 3.7 billion time transactions are managed in our workforce management solution every single year. So the volume that we are handling across the suite is phenomenal. But what I'm actually really excited about is that this year, we hit a tipping point. We have now reached about 60% of all of our customers have embraced AI from Oracle Cloud HCM. They're using our generative or our agentic capabilities, perhaps in 2 or 3 cases. In other cases, we see 10 or 11 agents deployed across our customer base. But regardless, the adoption, we've hit that turning point. And this is because it's incredibly easy to adopt our solutions, and we'll talk about how we make that possible in a second. But what's exciting is that the analyst community has made notice of all of this innovation and adoption as well. Over the last 12 months, Oracle Cloud HCM Suite has received recognition 20 times, actually over 20 times, for being a cloud application suite leader. And what's exciting for me is that it's not just recognizing the entire end-to-end suite, it's recognizing our leadership also, giving us those leadership recognition rewards in the specific product areas, in areas like recruiting, learning, payroll, workforce management, employee experience. So really demonstrating what we already know, which is that Oracle delivers best-of-breed functionality in a truly best-of-suite platform. Now, that recognition is really thanks to you, our customers, and our partners who drive us every day. Right, 80% of our roadmap is delivered based on the feedback, the interactions we have with you. And so a huge thank you to all of our customers and partners who have been driving us, but especially a thank you to the more than 50 customers who are presenting their success stories today, this week at AI Cloud World. We do measure our success based on your success and the fact that you're willing to come and demonstrate your partnership, your outcomes, and that collaboration with us, that partnership, is phenomenal, so thank you. Now, to set the stage for the next 40 minutes, I do want to start by recognizing we have absolutely entered a new era. And this is the era of Agentic AI. This is where AI doesn't just create, it takes action. Now, for several years, we've been working with Generative AI, which really helped us work faster, work smarter. But Agentic AI absolutely changes the game. It takes it so much further because it understands goals, it learns from context, and it takes action on our behalf so that we can be freed up to focus on other things that matter. So for all of you in the room who are HR leaders, this is our moment. This is our moment to embrace the challenges and the opportunities of Agentic AI, because although we've been at the center of transformations, pretty much every transformation in our organizations in the past, this is different. This is our chance to move beyond just managing systems and people to truly manage how intelligence is orchestrated across our businesses. So this era of Agentic AI, there's a lot of talk about will it replace people? You know, what's the impact going to be on the labor market? I firmly believe, and we believe here at Oracle, that this isn't about replacing human potential. This is about accelerating human potential. Now, as we move into this era more completely, I know some of us are just at the starting point of embracing AI. Others are accelerating really quickly. The challenges that we've faced as an industry haven't fundamentally changed. The core challenges remain. We still need to build skills. We need to hire people. We need to develop our leaders. But in the era of Agentic AI, the complexity, the expectations, the pace of change is significantly affected. And this is why we believe that the challenges of today are better met by using Agentic AI, because AI connects the dots between people, processes, data. It understands and learns through context. It improves the experiences in ways that don't just improve the outcomes and the impact for employees, but it anticipates what's next. It takes us further. This is how Agentic AI is going to redefine what great HR looks like. Intelligent, proactive, and most importantly, human-centric. Now, across Oracle, as I said, we've been innovating very quickly. We want to bring as much AI to our customers as possible in ways that are highly impactful. And sometimes that means embedding generative AI to complete content, to create content. Sometimes that means bringing a classic AI to predict. And sometimes that means bringing agentic AI to the table. This is just a quick example, not meant to be read. It's an eye chart. It's an impact chart. We are very busy across Oracle bringing this capability together. And each one of our agents, is optimized with prompts, pre-configured security, so that it's easy to deploy. Last month, we had a press release where we announced something like 13 new agents, a great wealth of new capabilities. And you're going to see some of that over the next 35, 40 minutes from my colleagues. We're not experimenting with AI, we're actually delivering. And we're able to do this because we're delivering in a unified cloud. We are the only 100% natively developed solution in the market. And of course, as part of the Fusion applications, the AI that we delivers value across the entire enterprise. If you are an organization of 10,000 employees, we estimate that the savings for you could be as much as $12 million. Actually, that's a minimum amount. I'll tell you, I was talking with a company with 95,000 employees yesterday. They deployed one agent, saved them 50,000 hours a year. The income or the savings financially, $2.4 million. One generative AI agent. So the impact potentially can be very significant. Beyond delivering 100+ capabilities, we also deliver our AI Agent Studio. And if you heard from Chris Leone yesterday or Steve Miranda today, the ability for you to extend is unlimited. And we'll talk about this a little bit later on. The bottom line here is that with our delivered solutions, the ability to extend, we have delivered an entire agentic platform. One platform, one place to go to manage all of your agents, one security model, one experience, one comprehensive solution to drive agentic capabilities into your business. So I think with that, setting that stage, I want to bring up my colleagues to start talking about some of those challenges that I expressed at the front. And we're going to start with Nancy Estelle-Zoder, who's going to talk about navigating the new rules of work and what it means for the employee experience when AI is engaged. So please welcome Nancy Estelle-Zoder.
Thanks, Yvette, and thank you everyone for joining us today. I am thrilled to be here. My name is Nancy Estelle-Zoder, and I'm Group Vice President of our Cloud HCM product strategy. And I will tell you, the reason I'm most excited to be here today, especially, is that, as Yvette mentioned, that we are in that era of agentic AI. But more importantly, we're in the era of the new way in which we work. There are new rules. Those rules are being rewritten, actually, even as we speak. And those rules demand that we do a lot more with so much less. But let's be clear, the technology is not the issue. AI is not the issue. The issue is how fast and how quickly people can adopt the technology and understand that it's purpose-built for them. Because if we want employees to fully embrace AI, they need to know that it's built to support them securely, transparently, and most importantly, responsibly. So as we look at this, and in order to thrive in this environment, organizations must embrace AI. And personalization, trust, transparency, and compliance is how we bring all of those pieces together. This is where and how these tools need to be delivered and developed for our workers around the world. At the end of the day, if these tools don't work appropriately and aren't personalized and contextual, the burden really falls on that human workforce, leading to frustration, lack of engagement, as well as too often the need to reset. We've all seen the trends over the past couple of years. And to thrive in this environment, organizations must embrace these solutions, provide real-time support, and enable both people and business to move forward together. Now, what's most important here is that when an enterprises trust its platform, innovation accelerates. But when leaders trust the data, they act faster, and they're more impactful. So trust, compliance, personalization. If you've been in any of my sessions, I talk about that a lot. Because at the end of the day and at the foundation of everything that we do, that's what we need to deliver on. But what truly defines the new rules of work is how we bring those principles to life. And for every one of those moments that matter to the employees, to really ensure that enablement with targeted communication, that personalized growth, as well as the contextual experiences that are necessary in order for them to thrive in this environment. Because when AI is embedded directly into the flow of work, when AI is in the infrastructure of everything that we do, your experience is hyper-personalized. And it doesn't just guide people, it in fact empowers them. So I have to admit, I've been on this journey. Of course, I've been with Oracle for a number of years now. But I will say that in the last 4 years have been truly transformational. We started our experience with journeys, bringing work orchestration to life. Fast forward to today, we've applied AI to deliver truly personalized communications across the entire enterprise. So with Oracle Communicate, AI can add that personalization to each message. Instead of blasting the same message and events to everyone, it actually analyzes employee roles, locations, skills, preferences, and even more to have that tailored, personalized contextual experience, all at the moments that matter. And with campaigns and employee events, it also recommends the best channels to boost engagement. And the result is communication that feels personal, relevant, as well as connected at scale. But I must say, I'm really excited about Grow. For those of you who've been part of the Oracle HCM journey for some time now, you know that we've started that development a number of years ago, making it available for employees as well as for managers. But really recognizing that, especially today, as we navigate these new rules of work, that most powerful advantage we can give employees is the clarity to growth opportunities, which is precisely what Oracle Grow delivers, helping every employee see where they are today and where they need to go next. Acting as a personal career coach, personal career advisor, it connects skills, goals, learning into that one guided, contextual, personalized experience, powered by AI, powered by that unified data set. And because it's built into Oracle Cloud HCM, those insights flow directly into business planning, helping people and organizations adapt together. Now, this is how we're navigating the new rules of the evolving work environment, connecting people, processes, and intelligence into a unified experience that's personalized, trusted, and compliant. But I will say, this is kind of what excites me most, is how we're really reimagining that employee and organizational experience to help organizations optimize outcomes. Those outcomes continue with how we're redefining workforce planning and budgeting. So I actually want to show you a little bit of this right now. This is something that we're working on as we speak. We see this as an opportunity, especially for our customers and our partners as they're thinking about the opportunities with Oracle AI Agent Studio. I'm hoping each and every one of you had an opportunity to sit in on Chris Leone's session yesterday. If not, watch the digital recording of it. Definitely will be worth your time. Lots of opportunities for our customers to really look at how they can design AI agents that mirror the daily actions of your managers, guiding smarter decisions, automating workflows, and ensuring every choice stays aligned with your strategy and within budget. It's about giving leaders the confidence to move fast without sacrificing trust and control. So let's take a look at this in action. So from the Team Activity Center, you can access your advisor, and managers can strategize to see how to best optimize their team, leveraging the data, leveraging the enterprise data that's in fact available, things like job architecture data, skills, organizational data, as well as location and other workforce structures. With that personalized context, the AI agent recommends the most suitable role, drawing to from the person profile things like the organizational budgets, even third-party HR data. Then the agent also factors in the time element. We're all dealing with time issues, and we all have the opportunity to understand the need to fill the role more quickly, but still appropriately and accurately. AI agent takes that into account in making the recommendations. Ultimately, the manager faces a difficult decision to act and to move forward. That's really how organizations can optimize their outcomes with confidence, ensuring continuity and success. What you've just seen with that is how it actually optimizes the overall experience of the manager by enabling them to negotiate with the AI agent to come up with those better outcomes. And it's not just us saying this. One of the things that we do see, and we know that there's an opportunity for, especially in this new era, AI-driven transformation era, is that organizations are in fact looking at how they can better manage, especially the deployment of AI. Now, Gartner's recent research highlights a clear shift. More organizations are moving away from that best-of-breed approach, where individual solutions are selected for each need, and instead really looking at how to consolidate, actually 66%. So as you're thinking about the opportunities for AI deployment, you'll be in great company. And this is how we're optimizing your experience, with supporting your constantly changing compliance needs. With Oracle, there's no patchwork, no point solutions, and no extra systems to manage. With Oracle Cloud HCM, you can set the bar for your personalized experience, inspired by innovation, but most importantly, with compliance and security built in and not bolted on. Now with this, now that you're equipped to navigating the new rules of work, let's turn to the topic of business agility through transformation and development of your workforce capacity. Please join me in welcoming my colleague, Lou Thompson.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Lou.
And thank you all for joining us here in Vegas for AI World. I'm Lou Thompson, Senior Vice President, Application Development. And you heard both Yvette and Nancy talk about how AI is changing not only how we do things, but what we can do. And what I'm going to tell you about today is how AI is going to solve a problem that I know most of you have. We've delivered a series of skills-based apps, skills-based recruiting, skills-based scheduling. But when I ask a group of customers or prospects, are you aware, are you under control of your skills? Do you know what your teams are capable of and what skills gaps you have? The answer is always no. So what we're doing is we're using AI to really set what are my skills demand and what's my actual skills supply. Because this skills gap isn't going to slow down. I look at myself and my own team in development, and I look at the fact that my job's changed more in the last 2 years, if not the last 6 months, than it did in the previous 10 years. So this is not a static job. This is something that needs to get started and then maintained and continued. So how are we going to do this? We're going to infuse AI throughout the entire process. We're going to start with job architecture, where HR professionals are responsible for defining the core requirements of a job. And if any of you saw Larry's keynote, I'm going to stick with that healthcare theme. So it could be the certifications that are required, the licenses. It could be a certain level of proficiency with certain technical languages, etc. But AI is a great one to use for this, because you start with a large language model that's consumed all of the data out in the World Wide Web today. It's looked at job requisitions, applications, resumes, LinkedIn profiles. All of that makes it very rich. You then add to that and make it your own by giving it your company policy, your union contracts, etc. And then lastly, it can see all of your employees, your entire enterprise, because it's enterprise aware. Again, tailoring it so that those answers are specific to you. Secondly, we're going to look at what it means in terms of Not all requirements are going to come from the HR representative. Some of it's going to come from the actual leadership of the organization. And then next, we're going to look at employees and help them surface the skills. That's one of the toughest things. If you think employees are going to go in there and self-declare, they won't. Then once we have that gap between the expectations, which is what HR and leadership's defined, and we understand that what we have, we're going to give them the ability to upskill that, again, using AI. And this is going to lead to positive outcomes, whether it gives them ability to engage and do better in their current job, or gives them clear expectations for that next job that they want, that also has a clear definition and also has a clear skills gap. That improves both retention and role and internal mobility as well. And then lastly, we want to make sure that you can prove that your investments are paying off. So throughout the application now, we're including analytics from top to bottom, not as a bolt-on, but from day one. And this holistic solution is what's going to give you that ability to see this data and maintain it. So I mentioned already HR professionals being able to use that embedded AI that's going to look across and give you the suggested skills, et cetera, with still a human at control, a human making the final decision. But then secondarily, we've codified the ability for leadership to define roles. So I mentioned you might need certain certifications, et cetera, certain degrees, and HR is going to define that. But as leadership, I might say, I want you to spend more time with patients and less time typing on your keyboard or staring at your iPad. So I'm going to push down to my organization the fact that I want you to use clinical systems that use voice dictation and capture that meeting, track the actions, write the prescriptions, et cetera. And I can push that down through my management, and they can go ahead and tailor that to their organization as it's passed down through the organization. So whatever particular type of dictation software for that department or that location can be specified on top of the directive that I've given. And then lastly, for employees, we'll have AI embedded because we know what they applied with, we know the requisitions, we know the feedback from the interviews, so we have a very clear expectation of what they have and what capabilities they give. So next we're going to talk about the analytics on top of that are so critical to really justifying the investments you're making. Now this is 4 quick views of 4 different departments in a single healthcare provider. The first one I'm going to pop up shows you the dark blue line is the expected skills, and the light blue line below it are the actual attained skills. And you can see here pediatrics is at the top. They're doing the best with the smallest skills gap. Let's see how that's happening. I can see also that pediatrics has the highest learn execution status. So I know my learning content is high quality. I know that it's working and getting to close that gap. But what does that gap really mean to the business? Well, this top analytic here is retention. And again, I've got the smallest skills gap, I've got my learning done, and look, I'm not only the highest retention of any of the departments, but I'm the most improved. So again, proving that these efforts are paying off. And this last one's really exciting if you're a healthcare geek like me. Now I'm looking at pediatrics, and I'm looking at clinical data, the actual quality of care. Are the things I'm doing causing people to stay, but actually improve the service we deliver? In this case, quality of care says, are my patients being discharged earlier? Do they have less medication? Are they not readmitted? It depends on each provider. But again, I can show that closing that skills gap not only takes the generic KPIs, but my industry-specific KPI as well. So we talked about identifying the expectations, identifying the skills I have in-house, and closing that gap and how effective that is at improving different outcomes and results. But how are we going to do that? Well, everything we've talked about to now is really generative AI. Now we're going to talk about workflow automation. And what we have is an agent, a Grow coach, and you heard Nancy talk about Grow, that brings all these different resources in. But it's going to be interactive, it's going to be personal, and it's going to be tailored and aligned to the individual and the organization that we're talking about, whether it's the role they're in now or the role they want to be in. And it's adaptive. It doesn't just say, here's a learning path, best of luck to you. It actually interacts with you and challenges you and changes that depending upon your learning style, your level of mastery, et cetera. And the last point's really important. You don't attain credit for that skill or that certification without demonstrating mastery, because the AI will actually challenge you. Look at the quiz results. If you don't have it yet, it'll give you more content so you can get there. So let's look at the Grow Coach in action. So I'm a nurse. I'm about to have another child. So I'm going to come to the Grow Coach and I'm going to say, hey, I want to know how I can get more shift flexibility with higher rates of pay, either more premium shifts or more overtime. And the Grow Coach is going to look at me and it's going to say, oh, I know who you are. You got 2 years experience. And also, I know where the vacancies are within the department. I can look at the shifts, which premium shifts are filling later. And as a result, I'm going to recommend that you become balloon pump certified. Now, if you're not in healthcare and you're curious, do not Google balloon pump certified. It's better, I know, I wish I didn't. So I think this is a great idea. So I say, I want to get certified in the next 4 weeks, and I prefer video content. So it's going to think about this for a minute, and it's going to go ahead and confirm what I've asked for, and then it's going to give me a week-by-week plan over those 4 weeks with what I have to complete in each session. Then it's going to go ahead and say, tips to maximize, to make sure you actually get this done, how you break it up, how you're going to make sure you retain it. But the next part is really exciting for me. It also generates a journey. So it's a step-by-step process. You don't have to hunt and search for the resources. The resources are brought to you. And then the last comment, that's the part that really differentiates this. It's not going to just check that you're completing it. It's going to check that you have the mastery, because our whole goal here is at the end of this 4 weeks, you take the certification exam and you pass it. So it's not just a set and forget. It really keeps you going, keeps your progress, keeps challenging you. So with that, I want to leave you with 3 things. This is real, this is now, and it's only because we have AI that we could do this. This is a problem we couldn't solve before. It's the first time I think you'll have the tools to have a clear idea of your skills demand and your skills availability. And then lastly, things like this personal Grow Coach are going to really make it easier, adaptive, and engaging to close those skills gaps and get those better outcomes that you need. And with that, I've spoken the last few minutes about helping employees be better employees. I'm going to hand off to my colleague, OP, who's going to talk to you about how to help managers be better managers and complete that journey. OP.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon. Today, I'll show you how our new TeamSync AI agent can save managers 40 days in a year. I'm Ogden Pavlovich. I lead HCM product management, and my team and I work with many of you to design and deliver the functionality that your users use every day. We try hard, we believe, trust us, help us. We are there for you. Before I show you our TeamSync, I want to touch on something on AI. Well, for us as the development, this is the most exciting time of the in the year in the kind of enterprise software. For customers, it's probably pretty overwhelming. I know you're trying to figure out, where do I start, what do I do, right? I can tell you that you can start with AI today in HCM, and you'll see the real results immediately. On the left side, or on the left side over there for you, goals and performance are 2 most adopted AI features. Adding a goal, summarizing performance review, generating feedback are all being actually deployed by many of you in the audience. However, now let's see on the right. When you look at the screen, adding a goal, watch how a simple example, a single instruction to create a cross-collaboration goal turns into a wonderfully rich goal in no time at all. Generating AI is just simply better than us humans in terms of generating relevant content that is more insightful as well. We have customers whose users told us the same thing. Now, let's look at some of their quotes. I love these. I love the AI feature for writing goals. It removes stress and gives me a great starting point. Made it much quicker. I could still tweak it, but it saved time. What our colleagues love most is how AI helped kickstart the process. I mean, to me, these quotes speak for themselves. My advice to you is there's absolutely no reason not to turn this on today if you haven't already. Enabling this functionality takes literally 10 minutes. 10 minutes. If you deploy it, and your users will love you for it, I guarantee you for that. Now, that's just the beginning of what we're doing. Let's talk about how AI transforms managing performance. We all manage performance. We did it in the past, we're doing it today, we're going to be doing it in the future. But let's be honest about it. Most of us don't really look forward to the performance reviews, right? Because I believe performance is about, it's not about paperwork, it's about people, right? It's about helping every individual see their impact. It's about growing their potential. It's about feeling proud of what they achieved. When we make that as a goal, the managing performance stops being a chore, and it turns into really how we build great teams. So the question, big question for us is that what do we do to make managing performance with AI better? First, I think we need to do one thing. We must address these what I call the most kind of significant uses of managerial time and energy, our one-on-ones. If you look at my schedule, I spend pretty much 1 day a week doing one-on-ones. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for anybody. So typically what happens in these one-on-ones, employees have an agenda, but really what happens is something else. Employees want to talk about career goals. They want to talk about strategic conversations. They want to talk about team dynamics, motivations, right? They want to talk about the goals and planning alignment. But what really happens is something else, right? If you're like me, I have 90 product managers. What do? I chase product updates. I'm trying to figure out who's blocked. I'm trying to figure out how to piece information together across different teams and try what I was doing. That's what really happens, right? So we must avoid this one-on-one trap to manage performance better. The thing about it is that my experience is no different than yours. We did a LinkedIn survey, and pretty much everybody told us more or less the same. 70% of the managers are saying that they spend most of the 70% of their time on status updates. It's a lot of time, right? So how do we solve this? How do we make this better? What do we need to do? I'm proud to introduce you today. We built something new, something that we haven't seen anywhere yet, something that only AI makes it possible. It's a new AI agent. It's the application that we call Team Sync. It's an AI agent that works for you. It's an AI agent that takes all the updates from your team, it generates sentiment, highlights what's at risk, summarizes everything into an easy kind of a read and actionable insight. And not only that, the AI agent tells you who you need to meet and what you need to focus on. The best thing about it, it's available in 25D, so you guys can have it. Let's see it in action. Here's a simple thing. This is my favorite part of the presentation always. I'm a product guy, so I love this, right? That's all I care about it. Here's a simple form. We're using Slack here. It could be Teams, it could be email, it could be anything, right? But basically, just ask somebody, give me some accomplishments, give me some challenges, tell me what's next week. And then what do we do with this? We do what we do, we take AI and let AI do what's best. If you notice this is a little bit of a different experience that you've seen before, right? What we're doing here is we're generating a page that summarizes all of that content that everybody's provided. We're giving you team sentiment. We're giving you positives. We're giving you challenges by person. We're telling you where you need to focus on in terms of attention areas. We're giving you, and then look at Eric here, for example, he needs an attention. What do? And if an Eric, same thing. We focused on the Eric when we went from there. And then, what is the thing? Eric needs some help. Now I go into a chat experience that you've seen and ask Eric, what is the best thing to conversation? AI generates topics for me that I need to do it from what Eric has submitted. And right away, I can use an agent to schedule a meeting. So really, what happens here? Agents have helped me actually figure out what I need to focus on. It summarizes everything for me. I don't need to worry about it myself, right? Now, imagine this. If you have multiple teams, what you can do is as well, you can ask the AI to give you status across multiple projects, not by individual, but projects. The opportunities are limitless. It's really there work for you. Anyway, so what's the result? If you are like anyone here, save 30 minutes if you save 30 minutes per person per week. If you lead 12 people, that's about 6 hours or 7 hours a week, right? That is 40 hours back in a year. It's 40 days. What did I say, 40 hours? 40 hours, nothing. 40 days. 40 days that you get back to coach, to strategize, to lead. And the thing that I love the most is 40 days without status updates. If anyone wants status updates, please see me afterwards. I want to talk to you. Anyway, and we're not done. All of us are individual contributors as well. All of us do these things, right? So let's not forget the individual contributors, right? We do a lot of work that we're proud of, but we typically remember only what we accomplished in the last few weeks, right? We forget a lot of stuff that we've done. Now, what are we doing here? We're giving every individual a digital voice, one that remembers everything that you've accomplished, even the work you forgot about it that happened months ago. So that's what we're doing. Let's see quickly what it is. What do we do? A lot of you tell me all the time, we reduce clicks, reduce clicks. I cannot go less than 1. So here's your self-performance evaluation in 1 click. 1 click performance review. Beautifully generated, beautifully put together. You need to do some LOVs, but 1 click generation. You've done all the work, you created updates, and you're done. That's what really matters here. So when the performance review season comes around, right, with a single click, it generates your self-assessment accurately, contextually, and even beautifully written, just like I said before. So who says that performance reviews have to be painful, right? Imagine looking forward to them, which hopefully happens sometimes. Because really what it is that these performance reviews should reflect your true story, things that you've done over the years. And that's what we're giving it to you. Now, what I believe is just a start. It's a fantastic start. It sets you up for a culture of continuous performance. I can't wait to see what you guys do with it, and I would love to hear your feedback. With that, let me hand it over to Nagaraj, good friend of mine, and even better human being. He's going to talk about how to hire the best people using recruiting. Go get him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, and good afternoon. All right. Well, we ask you this rhetorical question. Our goal is to prepare you for your next great hire. Well, before we continue, I'm Nagaraj Nadhendla, Senior Vice President, Cloud Applications Development. All right, how do we go about doing this? There are 3 important drivers for this, or trends that are influencing how do you plan for your next great hire. First is candidates. Historically, I've always expected more from candidate experiences, the way they engage with brands. So, respectful, transparent engagement and responsive. And generally, the experience they get through this process, 2/3 of the candidates, they've responded that when the time comes to accept an offer, this experience weighs on them in terms of, should they or should they not, because it kind of sets the mood for what will happen if they become an employee. The second one, my colleagues have talked quite a bit about skills and skills becoming the currency of how you, acquire talent. You measure what you have, what you need, how do you acquire, whether you buy or borrow. There's a variety of factors at play. So skills have steadily changed the criteria for your next great hire. And the third is AI is changing the process. We'll spend a little bit of time on that today. So if you recall back in the day, what we call today as white glove treatment used to be when recruiters would call up, or even hiring managers directly would call you up and say, I got your resume or profile through somebody, I'd like to know a little bit more about you. And there was a sort of a discovery process mutually, both the hiring manager or a recruiter and the candidate. And then the recruiters, I remember, I had conversations this way, where they would say, I think this role might not be the right one, something else might be the right one. And then they'll give you team dynamics within the organization. So there was a lot of coaching, sort of unexpectedly happening along the way. Lo and behold, that experience kind of drives the brand value with the candidates, that discovery process. So what you're seeing here is an example of a career coach similarly walking a candidate through a very similar experience. They land from either Google or through organic search or from LinkedIn or directly on your career site. The candidate is initiating the conversation, right, with an agent. In this case, a career coach. But it's mimicking that kind of a multi-turn engagement with a recruiter or a hiring manager. There's no reason why you need to stop with external candidates. While we have the internal growth and mobility opportunities along the way for employees, there's no reason for your employees to get a similar experience as they land on Opportunity Marketplace to get the same multi-turn coach advising them on here's the right roles within the organization. So every step of the way, kind of hold their hand to help them grow, develop, grow, and transition into the next step in their career, right? So let's take a look at how this works. So a candidate lands, it's a marketing intern. They're having a conversation with the career coach here. And it's as you see the interactions happen, it's about discovery about the individual, discovery of the opportunities, some preferences like location, type of work, et cetera. And that conversation, it's almost like somebody talking to you, right? And it doesn't need to stop with just discovery. It can lead into helping them apply to the job, but doesn't need to stop there as well. It can go on to immediate pre-screening should you choose to do that. And as this conversation continues, this career coach will become something else if they are chosen for an interview. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So this is an example of an agent mimicking, as best as we can, human interactions as if somebody's talking to them. There's discovery along the way to make the right decisions, not only for the org, but also for the candidate, more importantly for the candidate in this case, specifically. All right, now, this is just an example of, we're in the world of AI. So how is AI changing the process? This is one example, but we need a model, an architecture, a framework, if you will, to make this work. So what is that? There are two elements to this. First and foremost is the type of interactions you need to have. Okay. All right. First and foremost, the type of interactions you need to have, and ensuring the most mundane things get done efficiently and effectively, but you enrich the experiences. So there are two important things to consider. One is, what you just saw here is the career coach being engaged by a user. It could be a candidate in this case. So the candidate lands on a career site, and then the candidate is initiating the conversation. There are situations where, the candidate progresses to one step through the selection process, and once they reach a point in time, just like a recruiter would call up and say, hey, you got selected for the interview. I need to prep you. Let's finish the scheduling, and then I'll talk to you about the team and how you need to be prepared, et cetera. That's an agent-initiated conversation. So there are user coming in to engage with an agent, and the other is, or a coach, or the other is the coach reaching out to the agent, an agent reaching out to the candidate to conclude whatever is the process that they need to conclude. It could be asking for additional information, an instant screening, or setting up an interview. So it's a variety of things that could happen. That's the first, how you model this matters. The second is a collection of agents. So in recruiting, we have 4 categories of agents. This is how we're thinking about to prepare you for your next great hire. So there's 4 category of agents. We talked about career coach. But even prior to career coach, to draw in the candidates into your career sites, for example, you can enable the curation process of all the profiles that you have, the campaigning, the sourcing and campaigning and curation to ensure that you are not losing track of the addressable talent and the skills you need for your organization. You're always driving that engagement. The sourcing agent and the collection of agents there would drive that. Leading to career coach. The interview agent it's a broad term, but think about anything about the selection process, right? An instant, you want to do as soon as they apply, an instant review of their profile while they just applied. Subsequently, there could be an interview scheduled, first, second, third, a video interview, anything along the way. All of that process could be enabled through an interview agent. And the mundane activity of organizing, scheduling, and all that, while there's self-service capabilities, the agent can truly deliver that kind of a white glove treatment to the candidates. And finally, for the internal users, the hiring managers, the recruiters, the HR folks that participate in this process to ensure the hiring is done efficiently and effectively and the right talent is brought in, is the Copilot capabilities for the internal users, the hiring managers, recruiters. So this collection of agents collaborating with common data about the candidate, about the requisition, about where they are in the process, drives that experience ultimately. And the goal is that all of these capabilities, when wired and enabled together, will enable your next great hire. So all of this is enabled primarily because all of this data, the process, is part of a single unified system. And it's all driven by the AI capabilities that you heard about during this event, all through this event, all the investments we've made over the years. So that's our way to prepare you for your next great hire. So to wrap this up, I'm going to turn it back over to Yvette.
Thank you. Thank you. Nope. Hey, so listen, I think that was a great 45, 50-minute overview of what we're doing, our strategies, how we're delivering across the suite, and our view into the future of Agentic HCM. I'm super excited to help you get a head start. We've created a document for CHROs. Use this this QR code to download it. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for your attention. AI is here. It's real. It's making an impact. Let's shape what's next together. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the conference.